a good-looking crop of potatoes you got there, John.
Okay, Dickel. What's this offer I can't refuse?
Well, John, how would you like to be the 2017 Potato King?
Tell me more, Gnome.
I will personally ruin Buzz's potato crop, and you will win, John. It's in the bag.
Well, why would you do that to Buzz? I thought you guys were buddies.
That rat-fink Buzz stole all my money and replaced it with Monopoly money. I couldn't pay my hotel bill, and I had to work as a bellboy.
Now that's funny. That's pretty funny.
It may be funny to you, but not for me. I'm getting even with him, and you, John from Arkansas, can finally win.
I'll be famous. I'll be big. I'll be the Potato King of 2017. I'll wear the crown. I'll be a contender.
Bingo!
What's the catch, Dickel? What's the catch? There's always a catch. What do I have to do?
Here's what you do, John. You just grow your potatoes. However many you grow, I'll see to it that Buzz grows less.
Back up here a minute, Dickel. What you're asking me to do here is to sacrifice my integrity. To just dispense with my character that took years to develop. Throw away my sense of right and wrong and justice, just so you can get revenge on Buzz and I can become the Potato King of 2017. Is that what you're saying? Well, I like it. No problem. We're buddies on this. It's a deal, Dickel.
Well, this is part 7 of the 1935 Philco 89. Well, there's not going to be much radio work done at all today. I had such a good reaction to my experiment with the plating that I'm going to continue with the plating and do a few other things here with it.
Yeehaw!
Since this is a Philco restore, I just thought I'd show you my plans here for the cabinet here. As I told you earlier, I'm going to strip the cabinet, but before I strip it, I'm going to try to fix the veneer here. This is in pretty bad condition with this all bowed out here. I bought one of these hypodermic things. I'm going to put glue in and inject it and clamp these down, do a little at a time until I get this whole thing glued down. This is really loose here, not so bad up here, but as you go farther up on top, it's more buckled here. So I'm going to see if I can use that hypodermic to put glue into the joints there and strengthen this up before I strip it. That's a really big job. So hopefully we'll be on track next week with the cabinet. Let's talk about the plating here, all right? Now, I had a few comments about the way I was doing the plating, and I guess there's a lot of confusion out there about how this plating works. So I went to Brendan, John from Arkansas's mentor. He says electrons flow from negative to positive, just like in a vacuum tube. So old 64 Goat was right there. But then he says, however, the current in a circuit flows from positive to negative. So here we have our anode here. Particles from the anode go to the negative. I hope that simplifies things and you're not as confused as I was. So there you go. Thank you, Brendan.
Well, you're welcome.
Welcome to part 2 of my plating experiment in our ongoing series, Experimenting with Buzz. Now, as you can see here, here's my 2 tube shields that I plated.
Oh, brother.
I think the first one turned out best.
Not so easy, is it?
And I'll explain what happened here.
How humiliating.
After I did the first one, I decided to do another one and see if we could just speed it up a little bit. Instead of spending 6 hours on that, maybe we can do it in an hour or so. So I did this one here, and things happened. I got kind of busy, I forgot about the plating, and I left it in there too long without taking it out every few minutes and rubbing it down with Scotch-Brite or steel wool. So if you don't take it out every few minutes and rub it down, you're going to get some big lumps into the finish, and it looks just horrible. So that's what happened to this. So I decided, well, let's see if I can reverse the plating. So I made this the anode, and I made these wrenches the cathode. So whatever was on here, all the plating that was on here, came off here and went to here. Here's a picture of this with some of the plating already off. I didn't film this. I wasn't planning on making a second part of this, but as you can see, the plating on the shield really looks crummy.
How humiliating.
It had big streaks where it was on there real heavy, and other parts where it wasn't. So I did the reverse process. Here's what it looks like now. You can't even tell that was plated.
Nope.
The only place you can tell is when I first took it out of here and it was all lumpy. I thought maybe I could sand it, so I sanded it, and you can see the sand marks here.
Sandpaper if you want to come off any other way.
And over here. So this really surprised me how it came off like it was never on there. Okay. So what we're going to do now is I've got the zinc plating on these two wrenches. Now I'm going to take the plating off these wrenches and put it back on here.
Oh my God.
If you look at this wrench here, this is the chrome part, and all the non-shiny surface down here is the zinc. So there's quite a lot of zinc on there. And if you look at this wrench, this top portion was not in the solution because it's nice and shiny, but the rest of it was, and it's got that dull zinc finish on it. Of course, this is unpolished, so. Alright, it's been over 5 minutes. Let's take this out.
We now join the following program already in progress.
I noticed this started turning, it's like black. Maybe it already took the zinc off it. Now it's starting on the chrome or whatever that's on there. Let's take a look at the other wrench.
Oh my.
As you can see, this is now shiny again. A little bit dull down here. The zinc did come off it and went on here. It covered it a lot more even than it did before. But it's at this point that you got to use the Scotch-Brite so it doesn't build up any hard bumps and stuff on it. You want to keep it smooth. So I'm going to take the Scotch-Brite to it and smooth it down, and then put the ingot back in there and plate it. Okay, I'm just going to finish this one up.
Seems like old times.
I just have the zinc on one side here. I'll just have to rotate it every few minutes. But I think that's going to plate a lot faster than 6 hours. Oh, that's really going on there good. Look at the bubbles on there. Okay, I've completed the last one. Here it is. This one turned out pretty good.
Ah, it's so good, eh?
So I'm happy with all three of them. They're far from perfect, but they look better than what they did. This weighed in at 2 pounds, 3.2 ounces. Let's see how much zinc it actually took to plate those, huh?
Good idea.
So we got 2 pounds, 1.6, and it's supposed to be 3.2. So it took an ounce, maybe an ounce and a half to plate that. Cool, huh? I'm going to attempt to plate those little connector grid caps that go onto the tubes. I'm going to see if I can plate those copper.
Why?
I got a copper pipe here. I think that's solid copper, or most of it's copper. It's the next day. I let this pipe here soak in this solution overnight, and it turned to sort of a bluish green here. Even the top sort of changed color.
It's very sexy.
I guess that means there's some copper in there. Alright, just plunge it in. It's like the closer I get, the more bubbles I get. I don't know what kind of metal these things are. Probably the cheapest metal they could get.
Okay, now, watch carefully.
Okay, let's just pull it out after 5 minutes.
I'm afraid to say it. I'm shaking like a leaf.
Well, it's black. Or maybe that's just dark brown. I don't know. Let's just take a brush here and...
Oh, brother.
Looks like it is starting to turn copper color.
Yeah, right.
Let's just plunge it in there some more. Looks like this is going to take a while.
Oh, brother.
Well, that was a total flop. It just didn't want to stick to that. It just kept turning black, and that's what I got. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to plate them with zinc and see how that turns out, and then I might try the copper on that.
All right, let's have one rehearsal, and we'll do it. Why rehearse? I know my part. Quiet! Quiet on the set! Oh, shut up. That guy drives me nuts.
I'm just listening to a Jack Benny radio show from 1939, I think it was. Anyway, I've now plated those grid caps with zinc. And tomorrow, I'm going to try a different solution. I'm going to use vinegar and hydrogen peroxide to dissolve the copper a little bit faster. Now, people are saying, why are you doing this, Buzz? Why are you wasting your time on those little parts? Nobody gives a crap. Well, I'll tell you why. Every hour I spend on these grid caps, plating them, is one less hour working on the cabinet. Because I have to work on that thing, and I'm not looking forward to it. So this is more fun than working on the cabinet, so I'm going to do it. So there. Now for this recipe, I'm going to use hydrogen peroxide and white vinegar and no salt or sugar. I'm going to use this copper pipe. I'm going to use this copper wire here. Pour in a cup and a half. I'm using a smaller jar because I don't have that much to plate. So we'll pour this in here. Should be a cup and a half.
Yeah.
What's that for?
Now I'm going to take this, put it in the microwave for about a minute until it's warm. I'll be right back. This is warm. I'm going to drop this copper wire in here. We'll see what happens.
Gotta use hot water, you schmuck.
It's supposed to turn that solution a green. It supposedly works better when it's warm, so. You can see a lot of bubbles rising here. Seeing some smoke coming through there.
Holy smoke!
Stir it a little bit. And we're going to take the anode pipe, stick it right here on top of the that wire there.
So what happens?
Okay, it has gotten a little bit blue here, so without further ado, I don't know how long I'm supposed to wait. Try one of these.
Do you wish to quit?
Now, if this fails, then I give up on it. We'll just leave them zinc plated.
Do you really want to quit now when you're so close to the ultimate end?
I'll just stick the penny in there too.
You're just cheap.
Well, from my observation here, it looked like it took off the zinc plating completely. So I guess it's just not going to stick to this tin or whatever metal that is.
You big dope!
So it looks like this is a total flop, but it's trial and error. Trial and error.
Shut up!
The whole thing's probably just a publicity stunt.
Supposedly this is poison here. It says don't drink it. And if you're using anything like a drinking glass or something, you're not supposed to use it for that because it may hold some poison in there. But since we're not going to be drinking it, and we're not going to use this for eating or drinking, I'll just throw it out.
Wow, I need a drink!
Let's drink a toast.
This one, it probably took the zinc off it. And we can't really tell since it was already copper to begin with. Let's see if we can get a dime or something and stick it in there. Okay, I got a nickel. It's not taking that copper. This is why they recommend zinc. It's a lot easier.
Can you see anything?
I don't see nothing.
I see nothing.
I don't see it plating anything on that.
Well, that was disappointment. It's a total flop.
I'm going to leave it in there a little bit and we'll come back for the final shot. Well, I may have spoken in haste here.
There it is. I can see it.
Looks like that's starting to plate.
Well, if you ain't the sucker.
These are getting a little bit copperish. Seems this solution
Oh, it's just gorgeous.
is getting warmer. Maybe that's a chemical reaction, huh? Hope it don't blow up. It's not coming off.
It's working, it's working, it's working!
Let's leave it in there a little longer. This is starting to smoke here.
What are we going to do? I'm scared to death.
Can you see the smoke coming out of there?
Well, why isn't everybody scared? I know I'm scared to death.
I don't know if you can see that.
In fact, I'm scared enough for all of us.
The solution is sure getting blue. Or green. I'm gonna stick these two in there.
Watch your language, you bud. We're on the air.
Oh, look at that. I see copper going on there.
I see dead people.
See that?
Yes, I see.
Guess I was just too impatient.
Stupid old fool!
Well, I shall continue, and I'll show you the final verdict here, alright? This is going on way too long. Well, that's the final product. I think these things turned out fairly well. Since I was already considering it a flop, I continued till I achieved what I wanted. The coin looks pretty good. I don't know if you can see that.
I feel terribly proud.
It is plated copper. Of course, the penny was copper to begin with, but the nickel turned out pretty good. What does this all prove?
I haven't the faintest idea.
I'll tell you what it proves. If a dumb stoop like me can do this, anybody can do it. I guarantee.
Yeah. Hey, I like it. I like it a lot.
I'm Leonard Nimoy. Good night.
Jawohl, jawohl.